Fly kick. I sneak into my brother's room. The full moon shines on the bulkiest lamp. I shake it awake. Outside. Brother Vu swats my hand but follows me. Moonlight turns us silver. They pulled my arm hair. They threw rocks at me. They promised to stomp on my chest. Brother Vu yawns. A boy did pull my arm hair. Brother Vu pats my head. Ignore him. It's not like I follow him around. Why are you whistling? Someone called me Ching Chong. Is that good? Didn't sound good. Then he tripped me, so I flew up and almost scissor kicked him in the face. You missed? I wanted him to stop, not hurt him. I didn't even like seeing him scared. I would have kicked him. Teach me to fly kick, please. Not with your temper. I shout, I'm so mad. I shouldn't have to run away. Tears come. Brother Vu has always been afraid of my tears. I'll teach you defense. How will that help me? He smiles huge, so certain of himself. You'll see. September 2nd, late. Chin nod. Next morning, halfway down the block, away from Mother's eyes, I hear the click-clank of my brother Coey's bicycle. He stops and pats the upper bar of the triangle frame. I sit side saddle, holding on to the handlebar. The edge of our hands touch. As we glide away, I ask, every day? I feel a chin nod into the top of my head. After school, too? Another chin nod. We glide, and I feel as if I'm floating. September 3rd. Feel dumb. Mrs. Scott points to me, then to the letters of the English alphabet. I say A, B, C, and so on. She tells the class to clap. I frown. Mrs. Scott points to numbers along the wall. I count up to 20. The class claps on its own. I'm furious, unable to explain. I already learned fractions and how to purify river water. So this is what dumb feels like. I hate it. September 10th. Wishes. I wish Brother Coey wouldn't keep inside how he endures the hours in school. That Mother wouldn't hide her bleeding fingers. That Brother Quang wouldn't be so angry after work. I wish our cowboy could be persuaded to buy a horse so that I could be invisible until I can talk back. That English could be learned without so many rules. I wish Father would appear in my class speaking beautiful English as he does French and Chinese and hold out his hand for mine. Mostly, I wish I were still smart. September 11th. Hiding. Brother Vu now makes everyone call him Vu Li, a name I must say without giggling to get defense lessons. I need the lessons. I'm hiding in class by staring at my shoes. I'm hiding during lunch in the bathroom, eating hard rolls saved from dinner. I'm hiding during outside time in the same bathroom. I'm hiding after school until Brother Coey rides up to our secret corner. With Vu Li, I squat in Dung Tang with weight on legs, back straight, arms at my sides, fingers relaxed, eyes everywhere at once. I'm practicing to be seen. September 13th. Neighbors. Eggs explode like smears of snot on our front door. Just dumb kids, says our cowboy. Bathroom paper hangs like ghosts from our willows. More dumb kids, says our cowboy. A brick shatters the front window, landing on our dinner table, along with a note. Brother Quang refuses to translate it. Mother shakes her head when Vu Li pops his muscles. Our cowboy calls the police, who tell us to stay inside. Hogwash, our cowboy says, then spits a brown blob of tobacco. I repeat hogwash, puckering for the ending of shh. Mother decides we must meet our neighbors. Our cowboy leads, giving us each a cowboy hat to be tilted while saying, good morning. Only I wear the hat in the house. To our right, a bald man closes his door. Next to him, a woman with yellow hair slams hers. Next to her, shouts reach us behind a door unopened. Redness crawls across my brother's face. Mother pats their backs. Our cowboy leads us to the house on our left. An older woman throws up her arms and hugs us. We're so startled, we stand like trees. She points to her chest. Mrs. Washington. She hugs our cowboys and kisses him. I thought only husbands and wives do that when alone. We find out Mrs. Washington is a widow and retired teacher. She has no children, but has a dog named Lassie, and a garden that takes up her backyard. She volunteers to tutor us all. My time with her will be right after school. I'm afraid to tell her how much help I'll need. September 14th. New word a day. Mrs. Washington has her own rules. She makes me memorize one new word a day and practice it 10 times in conversation. For every new word that sticks to my brain, she gives me fruit in bite sizes, drowning in sweet, white fluff. Cookies with drops of chocolate, small as rain. Flat, round, pan-fried cakes floating in syrup. My vocabulary grows. She makes me learn new rules I've never noticed, like a, and the, which act as little megaphones to tell the word whose English is still secondhand. The house is red, but we live in a house. A, and the do not exist in Vietnamese, and we understand each other just fine. I pout, but Mrs. Washington says every language has annoyances and illogical rules, as well as sensible beauty. She has an answer for everything, just like Mother, September 16th. More is not better. I now understand when they make fun of my name, yelling ha 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 down the hall. When they ask if I eat dog meat, barking and chewing and falling down laughing. When they wonder if I lived in the jungle with tigers growling and stalking on all fours. I understand because Brother Coey nodded into my head on the bike ride home when I asked if kids said the same things at his school. I understand, and I wish I could go back to not understanding. Hallelujah. Our cowboy says our neighbors would be more like neighbors if we agreed to something at the Del Rey Southern Baptist Church. I've seen the church name on a sign where blaring yellow sun rays spell God. Our cowboy and his wife wait for us in the very first row. He's smiling. She's not. A plump man runs onto the stage shouting. Everyone except us greets him. Hallelujah. The more he shouts, the more everyone sings Hallelujah. Later, a woman smelling of honeysuckle signals for all of us to follow. Mother and I are told to change into shapeless white gowns. We line up in a hallway too bright and too bare, where my brothers await us frowning, all wearing the same shapeless white gowns. I giggle. Mother pinches me, then steps forward first. The plump man waits for her in a tiny pool. One hand holds her nose, another hand on her back, pushing her under. I start to jump into the pool, but Mother is standing again, coughing, hair matted to her face, eyes narrowing at me. Each of my brothers gets tips. My turn comes, no matter how I laser eye my Mother to stop it. And yet, it's not over. We must get dressed and line up on stage next to the plump man, our cowboy and his smiling wife. Her lips curl up even more as people line up to kiss our cheeks. Drops from wet hair drip back down my back. Bumps enlarge on my chilled skin as I realize we will be coming back every Sunday, September 21st. Can't help. Mother taps her nails on the dining table, her signal for solitude to chant. I shuffle off to our room, but am still with her through my ears. She chants, Na ma adia da fat, no ma lan the botat. Such quiet tones after a day of shouts and hallelujahs. Clang, 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 a spoon chimes against a glass bowl. Nothing like clear steam bell echoes from a brass gong. Instead of jasmine incense, Mother burns dried orange peels. Ashy bitter citrus invades our room. Nothing like the floral wafts that once calmed me. I try, but can't fall asleep, needing amethyst ring twirls and her lavender scent. I'm not as good as Mother at making do. Finally, she comes in and turns from me her signal for more time alone. I lie frozen, sniffing for traces of lavender. Too faint, yet I dare not roll closer. She sighs, extends it into a sniffle. Where are you? Should we keep hoping? She thinks I am asleep. More sniffles, so gentle I would miss them by inhaling too deeply. Come home and see how our children have grown. All my life I've wondered what it's like to know someone forever, then poof, he's gone. Another sigh. It's more difficult here than I imagined. I thought so, despite her own rule. Mother can't help yearning for Father any more than I can help tasting ripe papaya in my sleep. September 21st, late. Spelling rules. Sometimes the spelling changes when adding an S. Knife becomes knives. Sometimes a C is used instead of a K, even if it makes more sense for cat to be spelled cat. Sometimes a Y is used instead of an E, even if it makes more sense for moldy to be spelled moldy. Whoever invented English should have learned to spell. September 30th. Cowboy's gifts. Our cowboy likes to bring us gifts. The breathing catfish was Mother's favorite. I couldn't watch Vu Lee kill and clean it, but it tasted so good. After getting us dipped at church, our cowboy brought gifts even more. Vu Lee always asked for beef jerky, pointing to his muscles. I prefer really fat grapes. Today, our cowboy brings chips and chocolate. My brothers and I finish the chips in a flash. Later, Mother throws away what's left of the candy. After she falls asleep, I retrieve the bars. They'll be better than hard rolls for lunch. October 4th. Someone knows. My word for the day is delicious. Delicious. Mrs. Washington asks, "What or was your lunch delicious?" Before speaking, I have to translate in my head. She waits. I eat candy and toilet. Mrs. Washington looks panicked. What? I realize my mistake. Oh, the toilet. She doesn't look any happier. I add, not candy all time. But you always eat in the bathroom? I nod. Why? How can I explain dragonflies do somersaults in my stomach whenever I think of the noisy room full of mouths chewing and laughing? I'm still translating when her eyes get red. I'll pack you a lunch and you can eat at your desk. No eat in class. I'll fix that. Things will get better, just you wait. I don't believe her, but it feels good that someone knows. October 13th. Most relieved day. At lunch the next day, I stay in class. Mrs. Scott nods. Can it be this easy? Inside my first brown paper bag, a white meat sandwich, an apple, crunchy curly thing sprinkled with salt, and a cookie dotted with chocolate raindrops. Something salty, something sweet. Perfect. I hear pounding footsteps in the long hall. I stop chewing. 2 students run into class giggling. I firm my muscles ready for the giggles to explode into laughter thrown at me, but smiles appear instead. The girl has red hair swaying to her bottom, a skirt falling to her calves. She says, Pam. I hear Pem. The boy of coconut shell skin is dressed better than for church, a purple bow tie, a white shirt that wouldn't wrinkle even if rolled down a hill. He shaved his head. So shiny and perfect, I want to touch it. He speaks slowly and loudly, but I don't mind because he is still smiling. He says, Stephen. I hear Steven. I have not seen them in class, but then I mostly stare at my shoes. I will write in my journal, October 14th is most relieved day. As I have noted, April 30th was Saigon is gone day, and September 2nd was longest day ever. Though I was saving most relieved day for Father's return. He can have the title, My Life's Best Day, October 14th. Smart again. Pink boy stands at the board. He can't multiply 18 by 42. I go to the board, chalk the answer in 5 moves. My cheekbones lift to the ceiling until I see horror on the faces of Pem and Sistuvan. Pink boy is glowing red against white hair, white eyebrows, and white eyelashes. Mrs. Scott nudges me toward my seat. Pem reaches for my hand, hers trembling. I know Pink boy will get me, but right now, I feel smart. October 20th. Hair. One day, the honey hair girl takes her pink ribbons and knots pigtails in my hair. She stares, shakes her head, yanks back her ribbons. Pink don't look good on you. Then 3 girls of bronze red skin remove colorful barrettes from their hair and twist onto my head. So many braids. The girls' hair holds the shape of braids even without barrettes. Pem and Sistu Van nod, so I keep still. Walking home. My shadow shows eels dancing on my head, with tails and shapes of bows, stars, and hearts. Mother and brother notice, pause, then go on with their day. It isn't easy to sleep on a pile of plastic barrettes. The next morning, when the girls slip off the barrettes, my hair falls back to being straight. The girls yank my flat strands and walk away. I've spent my life wishing for long hair, and this is what I get. October 23rd. The busy one. Wu Li no longer has time for just me. At sunrise, he throws newspapers onto porches. After school, he flips perfect circles of beef. At sunset, he teaches Bruce Lee moves in our front yard. We line up in 5 rows, squatting and shifting, the only moves he has taught us. Make sure to get in the front row. First come the eager boys, next come the giggly girls, then come our neighbors, who couldn't help their curiosity. They wave back now at times, bringing jiggly, colorful foods we don't eat. Everyone in Wu Li's classes wears yellow, even some bright suits, exactly like Bruce Lee's. Brother Quang and Koi join too. Once I saw Mother behind the curtain, smiling. I squatted low and sturdy then. October 28th. War and Peace. Mrs. Scott shows the class photographs of a burned naked girl running, crying down a dirt road, of people climbing, screaming, desperate to get on the last helicopters out of Saigon, of skeletal refugees crammed aboard a sinking fishing boat, reaching up to the heavens for help, of mound of combat boots abandoned by soldiers of the losing side. She's telling the class where I'm from. She should have known something about papayas and No one would believe me, but at times I would choose wartime in Saigon over peacetime in Alabama. October 29th.